Welcome to Taylor's Journey. This podcast was brought to you by Ella. This podcast discusses mature themes and concepts. It is intended for mature audiences. Taylor always thought she was strong, but the death of her father may cause that to change. With an upcoming field trip near his cemetery, Taylor's teachers and classmates are counting on her to show up. Today was like any other day. Wake up, get ready, eat breakfast, and go to school. But something was missing. Someone was missing. Taylor's dad had died 3 months ago, but she still felt as though it was yesterday. She knew that she couldn't show any weakness. She was an athlete after all. But she wished she could, just for a second. Maybe even to her family. Her family was middle class. She and her twin brother, Cody, got ready to go to school. Her and Cody go to Mackenzie, the local public high school. She and Cody had always been very close, and after the death of their father, they only got closer. However, they were still siblings, and they also fought sometimes. The minutes passed like hours. Waiting for the bell to ring, for her to be free. The upcoming field trip was looming at the back of her mind, and when Miss Carlin reminded them about the forms, she could feel the tears coming. She couldn't tell anyone, but going on this field trip was scaring her. It was right by the cemetery. She had been avoiding that place because she hated the idea of saying goodbye. She wondered if Cody was reacting in the same way. She realized that he was very good at hiding his emotions. She wished she could be like that. Walking home, she and Cody stayed quiet. When they reached the door, they each went to their own rooms without sharing a word. As soon as Taylor's door was shut, all her emotions came out, and she was crying silently. Again, she wondered if her brother was feeling the same, but she knew she could never ask. She wanted to sleep, but she was afraid of the dreams that would haunt her. They'd be going on. She wanted to sleep, but she was afraid of the dreams that would haunt her. They had been going on since the day her dad died. The nightmares of her dad blaming her were still there when she woke up. This nightmare was unlike the ones she normally had. This time, her dad came to her. Normally, she just heard messages that he had told her. Tonight, he came to her, and she was following him through a maze, and in the end, she saw one of his old journals. She felt unrested, but she was ready to get on with her day. Again, she watched the time pass on the clock as every other day, but today was different. Before the final bell, she got up and went over to Miss Carlin's desk. "Hi, Miss Carlin," she said. "I just realized that I have a doctor's appointment on the day of the field trip, so I won't be able to go." Miss Carlin smiled back at her. "If that changes, you can still come. Your mom already turned in your forms," Miss Carlin responded. Of course, she knew this, but she didn't intend to go anyways. When the final bell rang, Cody and Taylor left school and started walking home. The second they got home, Taylor went to her dad's old office. She hadn't been there since he died, but with her dream from the night before looming in the back of her mind, she knew she should. She didn't want to spend long, so she rushed over to the desk, and in the drawer she found what she was looking for: his old journals. She sits herself down at his desk and starts reading. These journals were his world. He wrote everything in them. And reading them, Taylor felt like she was sitting in the same room as him. His written words were almost like listening to him speak. As she read his words, she realized that she had to say goodbye. She couldn't just leave him there forever without saying or doing anything. Sitting there, she made the decision to go on the field trip and say her goodbyes. It was like his journal was guiding her. Will Taylor go on the field trip just like that, or is what she found in the journal not enough? Only time will tell. Tune in next time for another episode of Taylor's Journey.